Hello, 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 everybody. It's your girl Evelyn here, and I'm going to give everybody a chance to come on in and going to invite some people to the broadcast to, just to hop on in and to enjoy what is happening. And so, I'm going to give a second for everybody to come on in. I don't know why my hair is doing this crazy thing. I have got my notes here because today we're going to be talking about 7 components of a successful brand. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because in order to come up with content, in order to market consistently, in order to know what to sell, in order to know where to find your people, in order to know what to say to them, how to say it, where to say it, when to say it, all that types of thing, you need these elements for your brand. And so I want to make sure that you guys will be able to get your questions in. So I'm not going to hold you long, but I want to, hello, Anise, hello. I want to make sure that I can get through these. So let me pull up my notes and 7 M's. And in the meantime, you guys, feel free to introduce yourself. And okay, I think I have them. I can't find them on my computer, but listen, we've been having some technical difficulties this morning, and that is okay. Right? That is all right. So I know these anyway. I just had some notes. So I've got some water here. This is not wine. I'm just a little extra. If you are new to me, my name is Evelyn. Welcome to the Mavens on the Move Facebook group. I'm just going to give you a quick background about me. I'm a former engineer. So I used to be a chemical and environmental engineer, and I worked for 3 different Fortune 50 companies. So not even Fortune 500, not even Fortune 100. I worked for 3 different Fortune 100 companies when I was inside of corporate America. And then I realized I wasn't a huge fan of corporate America and that I wanted to be a chef. So then I switched careers and went to culinary school and became a chef, and then went to work for some more companies. And what ultimately I realized along the way is that I basically was a strategist in every job that I had, that it didn't matter the industry, it didn't matter the product or the service, it didn't matter the business, that what made me successful in all of those jobs was I was able to quickly spot the patterns of success. And then I was also be able to see problems that could potentially come around the corner. Hello, she says, good morning, everyone. If you don't know, Evelyn is also, oh, thank you. Thank you, Renee. And so, so I started my first business when I was 15 years old. It was called Compliments of Evelyn, where I was selling cakes, and I sold that to, people in my church. My pastor was the mayor of the city, sold cakes to the church and people at the church. I sold cakes to the Chiefs football team in Kansas City, Missouri. Went on to college and was still continuing to cook and barter my services. Started another business a couple of years after college, and then was doing that while I was working in corporate America the whole time. I always had a side business, and you'll notice I don't call it a hustle. So we'll talk about that another day. Always had a side business. And in 2009, I left my corporate job for good and decided, you know what, this isn't the role for me. And so have had a freelance chef business, have had a online cooking class business, and now I am a business strategist because it was something I was doing for people anyway. And the way my business came about is because people saw what I was doing in my businesses and reached out to me and asked me to coach them. And that's how Evelyn Inc. began. So anyway, so last thing is, if you've ever heard of the Clifton Strengths Finders assessment, my number one skill set, my number one strength is strategy. So I tell people strategy is my superpower. So let's get into it today. That's a little bit of background about me for those of you who didn't know. If you're wondering, like, who is this girl that's talking to me? I don't really know her, or maybe I've seen her around, but not in this capacity. So I just wanted to give you a little background information about that, so that I kind of know what's happening in the space. So let's get into it today. So I will say this. Make sure you mark your calendar because I'm going to be going live every day this week, talking about a different topic. You can see the post inside of the group. Make sure to invite your friends who have businesses, whether they have a business on the side or whether they have a business full time. Okay. And then also on Friday, particularly on Friday, I'm going to be doing a live strategy session on one of my clients who has a product-based and a service-based business. So she has two different businesses. Actually, she has three, kind of all under the same brand. And I'm going to be like coaching her in strategy live. So she has graciously agreed to let us peek into the backside of her brand. All right. So let me see if I can find these notes one more time. And I'm going to take a sip of water and find these notes, you guys. I'm super casual, by the way. All right, I found it. Perfect. If you guys have not noticed, I'm super casual, and that's okay. Listen, sometimes I don't take all that. All right, so I want to be able to make sure I can see the comments. I want to be able to make sure I see my notes, and let's get into it. So, all right, guys, ready to take notes. There are no slides. Listen, super casual because I just came to give you guys the juice, give you the tea, give you all of that, and then some. So number one, the first component that you need to have for a successful brand is you need to have a mission. Now, I know you're like, yeah, I need to have a mission statement, right? But here's the reality. People buy things that they need or things that they want. That's it, right? If you don't know what you're offering and why you're offering, what problem you're trying to solve, right? Or what desire you're trying to fill, what want they have, then it's going to be really hard for people to understand what to come to you for, right? So for instance, there are some organizations where their mission is to end childhood hunger. Right? So you know that if you have a passion, a desire, or you see hungry children, you know exactly who to go to, who specializes in ending childhood hunger, right? Or for example, let me use a different brand. So if you have natural hair, okay, like I have natural hair. If you have natural hair, right? And you want something that's going to define your curls, right? You are going to go to a brand who specifically offers products to natural hair women to define their curls. You're not going to go to a brand who's saying, oh, this is for color treated hair. Like, right, like what you are offering and why you are offering it is the basis of your business. What problem are you solving for people, right? I'll use myself as an example, Evelyn Inc. I am solving the problem of, there are these, I coach successful women who they're making money, but the problem is they're exhausted, they're overworked, and they're doing 1,001 different things, and their to-do list is a hot mess because they don't have any systems and strategies in place. I am solving a problem for them. I am helping them organize and systematize and find the shortest distance from where they are to where they want to be through strategy, right? So that they can get their life back, so that they can enjoy what they thought entrepreneurship was going to be, right? So that's my mission, is to help successful women entrepreneurs simplify and strategize so they can scale their business and scale their success. Super simple, right? So when people tell you a mission statement, right? It's almost like, why does your business exist? It's the why, right? Have you heard of the who, what, where, why, and how? Your mission statement is your why. Why do you exist? Why? What are you trying to serve? Okay. And guys, I probably should have gave you a disclaimer. I'm a little spicy. I'm a little saucy. You know what I'm saying? I do a little bit of edge snatchery. Okay. So I tell people, if you're tender-headed, you might want to get some coconut oil for your edges, some castor oil for your edges, something. Okay. Because my goal is to give you the juice. My goal is to give you the tea because I want to see you win. Okay. All right. So the first thing is to have a clearly defined mission. It's basically the end result that you want people to get when they experience your brand, right? Like what are they getting from you? And when you know where you always want people to land, it's easy to send them there. If you don't know what problem you're trying to solve, what need you're fulfilling, what desire you're fulfilling that people want, it's going to be really difficult to even do the next 6 things that I'm going to talk about, and you're going to struggle. Okay, you're going to if you don't know what your mission is, you're going to struggle to market effectively, and you're going to struggle to make sales if you don't know what problem you are solving or what desire you're fulfilling. Okay, so that's your mission. And guys, make sure if you have any questions, I know I talk fast, please feel free to leave them in the chat. Okay. All right. So the second thing you need to have for your the second component for your successful brand is you need to know your method. Okay. You need to know your method. How do you get people to that place, right? So how do you get them to the end result, right? So let's say you are a personal trainer, right? And you help people who are over 400 pounds get to their ideal weight, right? Whatever that may be. You as a personal trainer, you're probably going to have your own specific method, your own specific process of getting people to that end result. Okay. So you need to, because here's the thing, if you don't know what your process is, how can you guide people to an end goal? Right. So I'm very clear about what my process is with my clients, right? There are a series of steps that I take them through, and there's different questions that I ask, there's different things that I look for, right, in general, to get them to scale down, simplify, so and so they can amplify, right? And so you need to kind of know that. I have a client right now who she helps women thrive in their relationships and in their career through emotional intelligence and femininity. And she has a very clearly defined process that we help her uncover, right? And so a lot of times, let me say this, a lot of times you have a process for your business or for your service or for your product, but you may not know that you do it because you're so good at it. You're a maven, right? You're so good at it that you may not realize the steps that you're taking people through to get them to a desired end, right? Okay, so your method, right? And now let me say this. This is not only for service professionals, right? So let's say you own an apparel company that is strictly for nurses, right? So I have a good friend, and they have a like basically a scrub company, right? And so basically their mission is to basically make nurses feel good about themselves and look good while they're doing it, right? The method in which they do that is they offer high quality, stylish, feminine scrubs and accessories specifically for nurses. Okay, so this is not just if you have a service or you're a coach or you have a course or something like that, right? This is also if you have a product-based business, like what is your mission? Why do your products exist? And then what is unique and special about your products that helps accomplish the goal of the mission? So you see how this kind of stacks on top of each other, right? That you have the mission and then you have the method. Okay. So now the third thing that you need to have in a successful brand is you need to know who your masses are, right? And I love alliteration, if you can't tell. And one of my good friends who's in my own personal mastermind kind of was the inspiration for this, because she has 4 M's and I have 7, right? But who are your masses? Basically, who are you talking to? Who is the product for, right? And I can guarantee you your product is not for everybody. If you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody. If you're talking to everybody, nobody's listening. Okay. Very, 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 very specific, right? So I did a live audio earlier and I was telling people, hey, listen, I'm going to be doing this live stream talking about building, a successful brand this week. And I'm going to be sharing 7 components of a successful brand. I was like, so if you know people who have a business and whether they are full-time or it's their side business, please invite them. This while people who haven't started a business, this would be beneficial towards them. I may be saying some things that are going to go over their head because they're not there yet, right? I also mentioned that if somebody is in like a multi-level marketing company or like a direct sales company, that this is not necessarily going to be beneficial for them either, because that's not who I'm talking to, right? And let me tell you how I know you know how to do this. Let me tell you how I know you know how to do this. If you grew up like me, my mother and my aunts and uncles and grandparents and just people who were older than me in general, that if I said something interesting, colorful, out of place, would go, who are you talking to? Right? The reason why they could say, who are you talking to, is because they knew that whatever I was saying did not apply to them, that I clearly was not directing that message at them. So they were curious to know who I was talking to. Okay. So that's the same thing in your business, right? That if I come into your store, right, and I need car oil, right? If somebody is talking and they're like, hey, try these donuts, I'm not even paying attention because I came for car oil, right? So I in my mind, you're not talking to me because I told you I was looking for car oil. So if you start talking about donuts, I'm gonna be like, oh, they must not be talking to me because I'm not looking for donuts, I'm looking for car oil. I know that's a random example, but I hope that you get the point that, I specifically am talking to women entrepreneurs who offer products and services that are mainly on the web, right? So I can help people with a brick and mortar business, but that is, and I can strategize that because, like I said, strategy is my superpower, but that doesn't mean that's who I'm talking to. Now, here's the thing. I also have a friend who offers nanny placement service for nannies of color, for people of color, right? That does not mean that people who do not fit in that description come and patronize her business. But when she is doing her marketing, when she is talking, when she is offering her products or services, that's who she's talking to. And this is how she knows where to go, because she knows who her masses are. Who are you talking to, right? So if you are offering me products on how to keep my hair straighter longer, and I'm not somebody who straightens my hair, then you're not talking to me, right? I'm not part of your mass, right? Or sometimes I look at people, and if they're talking about breastfeeding for newborns and I don't have any children, I'm clearly not part of their masses, aka target market. Okay, masses, aka target market. And I think sometimes people's minds shut down when you use the phrase target market, because they're like, oh, target market is so hard. It's like, no, it's not. Who are you solving that problem for? Who are you fulfilling that desire for? So it's like we talked about in the mission, you need to know what problem you're solving, right? Then we talked about with the method, you need to talk, then with the method is how are you solving that problem, right? With your masses, it's who are you solving that problem for, right? This is what you need to know. Let me see. I see some comments over here. Masses, aka target market. Yes, Danita, absolutely, right? Okay, so that's the first 3. Mission. Why is your business in existence? Why do your products exist? What are they here to do? That's number 1. Number 2 is your method. How are you making that mission come to life? How are you getting people to your end result? That's number 2. Number 3 is your masses, aka your target market. Who are you solving this problem for, right? Okay. Number 4, and I owe this to my mastermind friend Kim, is what is your magic? Okay. And I know it sounds kind of woo, Follow me, rock with me. What is the manner and style in which you are going to deliver that product or service, right? And so this is where the feel of your brand comes in, right? So this is where colors come in. This is where graphics come in. This is where terminology and phraseology comes in. This is where personality comes in, right? Is what is your magic? What is your unique approach to implementing your method to the people to get them to a desired end? This is why I say that if you do not know what your mission is, the rest of these are going to be very difficult. Renee says, what is and where can I find the assessment that will help me turn my superpower so that I can narrow down my consulting? Oh, the Strength Finders assessment, I will send it out. Are you on the email list, Renee? I will send it out. It says, Danita Moss says, who are you solving that problem for? How are you solving that problem? And why do your products exist? How are you getting people to your end? Yes, thank you for the summary, right? Okay, so your magic, right? So let me give you, my magic should be evident, right? So my magic is very much, I'm coming to you real deal. I work from home. I'm in my home office, right? I'm very expressive. I use my hands a lot. If you go to my website, the Evelyn Inc., you kind of get a feel for my style. I like makeup. I like to be feminine. I'm girly, but I'm a little spicy. I'm a little edge snatchery, right? Like that's my magic. And my magic is also my experience. So I'm able to help creative businesses implement corporate strategies, right? Because I have that corporate experience, right? My other magic is I'm a business strategist that has a business outside of being a business strategist, right? So my only business is not being a business strategist. My other magic, right, is that I have done lots of different things. Thank you, Danita, right? She put my website in the chat. If you look at that, there's a very distinctive feel there. You kind of get a feel for who I am, right? So your magic, and so a lot of people is only this part right here, which is colors, fonts, logos, and they think that's a brand. All 7 of these things are a brand, right? So this component right here with the magic is, if you're somebody who doesn't like kind of like a fast talker, spicy, edge snatching kind of, but really knows her stuff kind of person, I'm probably not going to resonate with you. If you want somebody that's really like soft spoken and, you know, very gingerly or whatever, that's not who I am, right? I do it in love, but I'm so passionate about it. Like I'm gonna snatch your edges to get you where you want to be, right? You can ask my coaching clients, they'll tell you, I don't come to play with the children. Okay. All right. So here's the thing. And there's no wrong answer. Okay. There's no wrong answer, right? And here's the thing. Your magic really has to be you. You can't go and create a false magic because people are smarter than you think and people can smell it a mile away. If I came on here, you guys, and tried to give you, good morning, my name is Evelyn, and y'all be like, girl, okay? So you have to, this is about knowing who you really are and then incorporating that into your brand, right? Because people who like your magic and who need what you have to offer will resonate with you, okay? And so there's some people who offer great products and services and I may not resonate with their magic, right? It doesn't make it bad, right? So there was this one girl the other day, and it doesn't mean that they have to be exactly like you. They could just like your magic. And there was this one woman, and I was on a workshop that she did, and she has like purple and blue hair, a septum ring, lots of tattoos. You know, she was like breastfeeding while she was getting her makeup done. She was doing all of the things, okay? Right? That's not really my aesthetic, but the way she was talking to me, right? Like her brand graphics were very like space age, galaxy, as you know, you could tell she was into that kind of thing. Not really my kind of thing, But one piece of her magic that I liked was the way that she was sharing her information, right? Like I could tell that she knew what she was talking about. She was passionate about it, which that resonates with me. So I can get over the spaceships and the rocket ships and all these other different things that are normally not my jam and rock with you because that piece of your magic, okay, resonates with me. So, and you don't know what's going to be from person to person, but you want to be very, it needs to be very distinctively who you are, right? What you do not want to be is a vanilla brand, right? And then people are like, I don't know who she's talking to because there's nothing distinctive about it. And not that there needs to be a caricature or not that anything needs to be over the top, right? Because you can have a very distinctive brand by having a very soft and subtle brand, right? So your magic. So number 1, mission. Number 2, method. Number 3, masses. Number 4 is your magic. Number 5 is your message. Okay. If you were to sum up what you're trying to say to people in 1 to 3 sentences, like everything that you put out, if you were to condense it down to 3 sentences, what is it that you're trying to say? What is your message? What are you trying to say? Let me tell you what mine is. Simplify so you can amplify. Right? Or a quote that I saw that I thought was really, really good said, I can tell you a 6-word strategy for success. Think things through, then follow through. That's strategy to me. Let's think this through, then let's follow through, right? Like let's be strategic, implement systems, enjoy success. I think that's actually on my website. Be strategic, implement systems, enjoy success. If you learn nothing else from me this week, right? If you decide not to coach with me, you will know that every time you come to me, no matter what I'm talking about, at the end of the day, if you were to summarize it, I'm basically telling you, be strategic, implement some systems so you can enjoy your success. That's it. So how do you, matter of fact, that's on my notes. See? And you need to know all of these things. Like if somebody were to ask you about these 7 components, you should be able to rattle them off because this is your brand, right? So you can even think about bigger commercial brands, right? And kind of know what they're advertising. Walmart has a very distinctive brand from even Target. But Walmart also has a very distinctive brand from even Whole Foods, right? Thank you, Danita. Be strategic, implement systems, enjoy success, right? Because that's how I've been successful in almost, that's my message, right? So even if you have a product-based business, right? You know, some people, let's say they sell like graphic tees and their whole thing could be, you know, express your love for your natural hair. Like that's their message. The way they're going to do that is they're going to create apparel and things like that that celebrate the life that we know is natural hair. Do y'all see what I'm saying? Like, let me know in the comments if y'all are rocking with me. Okay. Excuse me, and I'm going to take a sip of water here. And let me know, is this helpful so far, you guys? Because I know a lot of times when people talk about brands, or they say they're branding strategists, it's kind of like, this is what your website should look like. This is what your font should look like, color theory and all that. And all of that is a part of a brand, but that is just one piece, you guys. That is just one piece, okay? So number 1, mission. Number 2, method. Number 3, your masses. Number 4, your magic. Number 5, your message. 1 to 3 sentences. What is the one thing you're trying to scream at the world? Let me talk about my other brand, which is Chef Evelyn. My 1 sentence: eat out at home. Eat out at home. Eat out at home. Like that's my brand, Chef Evelyn. Eat out at home. It's clear. My goal is to get you to cook at home. And so if I really expand it, it's eat out at home so you can enjoy some gourmet in your everyday, which is why my online cooking class site is eatgourmeteveryday.com. Do you see what I'm saying? And so when you know this, right? People get it. If they know, yeah, I really need to stop eating out and I really need to eat out at home, I know exactly who to go to. If I know that you specialize in Facebook ads for online service providers to grow your list, I know exactly who to go to, right? So one of my favorite people that I follow, her whole brand is about helping you make money off of the information in your mind, right? She calls it infopreneurship, right? I know I'm going to her every time I want to figure out how to take this information in my head and package it in a product to offer people. That's her specialty, right? That's her specialty. So you guys say you're rocking with me. She said, Denise said she's gonna have to catch the replay, and Renee says I'm rocking with you, girly. I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so your mission, your method, your masses, your magic, your message. So that's 5. We have 2 more to go. And let me say this about let me go back to magic really quick. Even the term, I think I said this, but I didn't harp on this. Even the terminology and the phrases that you use in your business is part of your brand. Like people call it the voice of your brand. Let me tell you, I think it's I can't remember if it's Wendy's or Burger King, but if you go to their Twitter account, they are like the clap back king and queen of social media. Like it's very sassy, very millennial oriented, very like it is just very evident the voice and the style of their brand, right? Think about this. Think about this. IKEA has a very distinctive style that's different than like Ethan Allen. Or let's say Zara and H&M is very different from what you're going to find at like Macy's or Nordstrom's, right? Different styles, different target market, different way that they're going to deliver their product or service. Okay, so let's get into number 6. So we have 2 more to go, right? Here's the thing. You can have those first 5 and have a brand, but if you don't have these last 2, you do not have a business. Okay, so number 6 is the money. Okay, which is how are you going to make money? Are you clear on the different ways you're going to make money? Are you going to offer services? Are you going to sell products? Are you going to earn money through affiliate commissions? Are you going to offer coaching or courses or classes? Are you going to do events? Are you going to do a combination of all of those things? And when I say money, in particular, I'm talking about what is the way you're going to deliver the value to people, right? So I'm a business strategist. So the way I deliver value is by working one-on-one with my clients, right? That's how I'm going to deliver my value to them, right? So let me do a sidestep here. When you're talking about sales or a sales transaction, it's really, really simple. All sales is an exchange of values. You see something valuable that you need, so you exchange your monetary value so that I can give you this value, right? Which is why I had to learn the hard way that until I was willing to pay for a class or a coach or a course or something like that, right, I was only going to be at a certain level of value in my life because I wasn't willing to exchange the value. I have been through this season, and tell me if you've been here, where I downloaded every free ebook that I could find. I downloaded every free workshop that I could find. I opted into everybody's webinar, free course, whatever. I spent hours on Google. I spent hours and days on Pinterest. I was reading every article I could find. But guess what? It only was going to get me so far because that was the level of value that I was at, right? So it's a value exchange. But let me get back to, so the point about money. So you got to the first 5. Number 6 is money. What is the vehicle in which you are going to offer value, right? So what is the vehicle that you're going to use to get people to the desired end? You have a process, you have a point where you want to get them to. You know who you're talking to. You know how you're going to talk to them. How are you going to have an exchange of value, right? Because that is a business. If you do not know how you are going to monetize your products and services, or if you're not monetizing them well, does that vehicle really hit or really fit what you're trying to do? Or are one of these things missing? Because I will tell you, when I had struggled in my business, it's because I didn't really know these things. What was the method in which I was going to do this? Okay. And so you can, like I said, you can do it in a combination of different things, but you definitely want to take in consideration, like, am I going to do a combination of these things? Like, what is that going to look like? What is the means in which the value can be exchanged, right? So, and number 7, you guys, let me drink some water, because this is the one. So number 1, mission. Number 2, method. Number 3, masses. Number 4, magic. Number 5, message. Number 6, money. Like I said, first 5, you have a brand. 6 and 7, with 6 and 7, you have a business. Okay. Number 7, you guys, and then I know I'm gonna give you a time back so we can do some Q&A. Number 7 is your marketing. How are you going to tell people about the problem that you're solving for them? How are you going to communicate to people? How are you going to let them know that you exist and that you know who they are and what they want and what they need, right? How are you going to communicate that on a consistent basis to people? I can tell you right now, when you do not have the money, it's because you haven't been doing the marketing, okay? This is why in businesses, marketing has the bigger budgets. I have to let people know that I have something they either want or need. And I have to let them know all the time, because there's 500,000 other people telling them, I got other stuff you may want or need, right? Marketing. How am I sharing with you the value that I offer, the solution that I'm solving on a consistent basis, right? Thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie says, preach. Thank you. So what are you going to use social media as a form of marketing? Are you going to create content as a form of marketing? Are you going to host events? Are you going to use paid advertisement? Are you going to try to do it organically? YouTube videos, blog posts? Are you going to do vendor fairs at an event? Are you going to write a book as a form of marketing? Are you going to be a speaker as a form of marketing, right? Are you going to run radio? Like, what is your way of continuously letting people know, hey, I'm over here and I got what you need, right? So let's do a quick recap, and then I want to do some Q&A. So number 1 is your mission, right? Which is, why does your business exist? Like, what's the point? Why do you have the products that you have? Why are you offering the services that you have? Number 2 is your method. That is the process that you are, that is distinctive to you and your company and your brand, on how, excuse me, how you're going to get people to that desired end place, right? Number 3 is your masses, which is, who are you doing all this for, right? If I'm a company and I make organic baby food, I'm not going to be marketing to people who either don't have children. Doesn't mean people who don't have children won't buy it for a friend or family member, but that's not really who you're talking to, right? It's kind of like the bell curve, right? If you guys remember statistics, you have your bell curve, right? And it's like where the top of that bell is. If you just visualize it, where the top of that bell is, that's your target market. People on this side of the curve and that side of the curve, doesn't mean they won't buy your products and services, but that's not who you're talking to, right? Your magic, which is, what's the way you're going to communicate with them, right? Like, are you going to be very fact-based? Are you very passionate? Do you use slang? Is that your MO, right? Like, what colors, what do you want them to feel when they encounter and interact with your brand? Okay. Then what is your message? If you were to sum it up in 1 to 3 sentences, what is it that you're trying to say over and over and over and over and over again? Mine is, be strategic, implement systems, enjoy success. My other brand is Eat Gourmet, is Eat Out at Home, so you can enjoy some gourmet in your everyday. Clear. If you don't want to, if you're not concerned about eating at home and you don't want gourmet food, or you don't want some variety in your diet, that's not the brand for you. But I'm telling you what's up. If you don't like to cook, that brand would not be for you, right? So then that's where somebody else who is offering like meal delivery services, they're going to be talking to people who don't like to cook. My brand talks to people who like to cook, who just want to make even nicer and fancier stuff, right? You see what I'm saying? So your message, money, right? How are you going to exchange the value? How are you going to deliver your product? Or like what is the method you're going to use, or what is the way that you're going to use to implement the process, right? Does that make sense? Like, how are you going to monetize this business? Okay. And then last but not least is marketing. How are you going to tell people consistently that you exist and you are solving a problem? And Monique says, oh, yeah, that's okay, Monique. You can absolutely watch the replay. So, you guys, that is 7 components of a successful brand. And I know I was talking a mile a minute, but I would love to do some QAs about components of your brand. So let me know in the chat, what questions do you have about the 7 components of a successful brand? I will tell you, if you have the first 5, you have a brand. If you have all 7, you have a business. Okay. So let me know. And can you see why, if you are missing any of these components, that it's going to be a struggle to make money? Because so for instance, if you don't know who your masses are, then how do you know, for instance, like what to post on social media, and then which social media platform to use? Because where are they? If you don't know who they are they on Facebook? Are they on Instagram? Are they on Snapchat? Are they on Twitter? Are they on Periscope? Like, where are they? When are they there? Right? And then how do you talk to them if you don't know who they are? Right? So let me know in the chat what questions you have. Carla says, do you need to have a physical product in your opinion? It depends on your business. So for instance, my business consulting business does not have a physical product. And actually, for a long time, my chef business did not have a product, right? So it really depends on what business structure you have. So let me know, what's your mission? What are you trying to accomplish? And then that will backpedal into, do you need a product or not? So like, tell me what your business is, Carla, and then I can maybe give you a little bit more specific advice on that. So put that in the chat if you don't mind sharing. What other questions do we have? Estate planning consulting. Oh, okay. So here's the thing, right? So that's a really good question. Okay, so estate planning consulting, right? So you get to decide. So you could have something like an ebook if you wanted to for that business, but that's where you come in. That's where you get to decide the method in which you want to monetize, right? So you could say, all right, I'm going to be a service provider, and it's more like I'm going to be a consultant and I'll charge you for sessions with you to help you estate plan. You could say, I'm going to be have someone and be like a DIY estate planning business where there's a course or a class or a book or an ebook, right? Or you could say, you know what, I'm gonna offer, here's another monetization method, which is I'm gonna offer other people's estate planning information and make a commission off of it, right? Or you could say, I'm gonna host different events to educate people about estate. Do you see what I'm saying? So you get to kind of pick. And I would say, who are you doing estate planning for, right? So, and once you know who you're doing estate planning for, you can figure out what is the method in which they would most easily receive the information. How would they prefer to receive the information, right? So, And then you can decide from there. Now, I will say this, some of this you can do trial and error. So, but here's the thing. A lot of times, like if you're not an ebook person, possibly the people that you are trying to reach may not be. Some of them may be, right? But they may not be. So you kind of need to know who you're doing estate planning for. And then once you understand how those people like to receive information, then it'll help you decide how you want to deliver. For instance, if you're serving really, really high-end clients in estate planning, they are probably not going to take the time to buy in or read an estate plan. They probably want to pay you some money and you do it for them, right? Whereas if you're trying to serve people who they know estate planning is important, but maybe, you know, they're in an income bracket where they're like, I don't want to pay high-end fees or whatever, then an ebook where they can kind of DIY it may be a better option, but you get to decide who you're estate planning for, and then it will help you determine that. I hope that's helpful. Monique says, I own a home baking business and trying to achieve more clientele either here or step into a storefront with my products, but I need more clients to do that. Okay, so tell me, Monique, what's your question? Like, are you asking how to get more clients? So when you say a home baking business, which I'm very familiar with, what are you doing wedding cakes? Are you doing cakes for kids? Are you doing favors, right? Are you doing gourmet cookies? Are you specializing in candy? Are you doing gift baskets? Like what is your specific thing that you're offering, right? Do you specialize in bridal shower cakes? Do you specialize in 3-dimensional cakes? Do you specialize in like classic Southern cakes? Like, so, because once you know what you do, it becomes easier to find those, and what you do and who you do it for, it becomes easier to define where to go find more people. Does that make sense? So if you specialize in wedding cakes, that's really clear. If you specialize in you know, baby cakes or birthday cakes for kids, it's a different place. She says, my clients are mostly women from 25 and up, working women, mostly moms who do not want to make desserts or any types of sweets. Yes. And it says wedding and Southern style cakes. Okay, so if you know that wedding cakes is your jam, no pun intended, then where are all of the brides to be hanging out at? Where are they hanging out online? Where are they hanging out in real life? What other things are they looking at while they're looking for wedding cakes? Does your social media iterate the fact that you specialize in Southern style wedding cakes, right? So are you sending the message all the time that, hey, I specialize in Southern style wedding cakes, right? Like, so if somebody knows that I'm from the South, or I want a Southern style wedding, or maybe my husband to be is going to be Southern, is your message and your marketing reiterating that over and over and over? And are you hanging out in spaces online and offline where brides to be are? Now, let me tell you what happens to a lot of my bakers, okay? Just as a side note, is they do everything. So they're doing wedding cakes, they're doing classic cakes, they're doing cookies, they're doing baby shower cakes, they're doing bridal shower cakes, whatever. That only works if then there's a different niche, which is, are they vegan? Are they organic? Are they all natural? Are they all scratch made? Whatever. Monique Ivor says, that I don't know. Of course you know. What are brides doing? Where are they at? Are they at bridal shows? Are they on Pinterest looking for inspiration? Are they following wedding websites on social media? You know exactly where they are. You know exactly where they are. If I'm a chef and I am trying to offer my online cooking classes to people online, I'm like, where do people who like to cook hang out online? What are they searching for? And if they like gourmet, I know that the people following McDonald's are not my people, because the people that I talk to don't like McDonald's. Yeah, of course, you know exactly where they are. What other questions do we have? This is good, you guys. And this is why knowing it, right, they're on Pinterest. Where else? Right. So this is why knowing, and here's the thing, are they older brides? Are they younger brides? Are they African American brides? Are they, you know, Caucasian, Asian brides? Are they DIY brides? Are they, I've got a super large budget bride? Like, right? Those women are in different places. Women with large budgets are probably not on Pinterest. They have a wedding planner. Okay. So, or maybe they are, or maybe they're somewhere in between. We don't know. And then that helps you price accordingly. Okay. What other questions do we have, you guys? This is good. We've got about 3 more minutes, and then we are going to wrap this up for today. Make sure that you let your people know to tune in tomorrow and to catch this replay. While you guys, if you have any more questions, I'm just going to do a quick recap of the 7 components of a successful brand, which is your mission, your method, your masses, your magic, your message, your money, and your marketing, right? And that is like the basis. And when you get that down, it becomes easier, right? You know, like if I have all these food examples, but y'all feel me, right? If I am a vegan blogger, I'm probably not going to go hang out with the people who are talking about like Meat Mondays or follow butcher shops, or I'm going to follow the people who are into vegan. And then I'm going to think, if people are vegan, what else are they into? And so if they're into natural healing, right, then I need to be hanging out with them in those other places. So Monique says, thank you. That is awesome info. You're welcome. It is my pleasure. So I'm going to take another drink. If there's no more questions, then we'll end right at 12. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. And tomorrow, I need to look and see what tomorrow is. But listen, we kicked off this week with a bang. Okay. Like I said, if you're not on the email list to get the reminders, get on that list. Make sure you tell your peoples, okay, that they want to watch this replay. They have to join the group. They have to join the email list in the group. And I'm going to be sending out some bonus information for those of you that are on the email list. So if you're not on the email list, go to bit.ly/build brand link. I'm going to type it in the chat, bit.ly/build brand week. Okay. And I'll be sending out some yummy, yummy, delicious bonuses throughout the week. All right, guys, it is 12 o'clock. Since there are no more questions, I will see you tomorrow. All right, bye.